about ethics, talking about transparency, another quite topical issue, shall we say, if not controversial issue, is one of lobbying.
Yes.
And the European Committee of Legal Cooperation has been addressing that issue. How have you been doing that?
Well, again, it all has to do, as you said, with transparency, ethics, public interests, freedom of expression, fundamental rights, basically. How we've decided that it was also important because what's lobbying? Lobbying it's when someone in an organized manner is trying to influence any process of a public decision. For
but
instance,
there are good forms of lobbying and there are bad forms of lobbying.
Yes,
as well.
exactly. Because I think people tend to think that lobbying may be harmful, but it is not, because lobbying is a way of the public authorities who have to take a decision can hear all the different opinions and can take a well-reasoned decision. For instance, let me give you another example. Someone is the government or any regional authority decide to build a dam. There are certainly people, the electricity companies will have their opinion on that. An environmental group will have another opinion, say probably this will damage the ecosystem in that area. Farmers will have also their own opinion. And the contractor who will probably build the dam will have its own opinion. So we can say that lobbying is bad. On the opposite, lobbying gives the people or the entity who will have to take the decision all the opinions so that he can form, as I said, a reasonable and a justifiable decision. So lobbying is not bad, but lobbying must be regulated because, again, it may pose threats to transparency, because you must do it clearly. And that's what the CDCJ decided to do. We decided to give some guidance on how should it be done in a clear way, in a way that everyone is accountable for the lobbying activity, in a way that people, ordinary people, any citizen can have access, for instance, for public records of who's lobbying for which organization. For instance, if politicians or any other public decision-making public official is receiving a lobbyist, what have they discussed? Who is in their agenda? So that people can have contact and make lobbying not a threat, not something that is seen in a negative way, but lobbying as something that's clear, that's transparent. I think the key word here is transparency and ethics once again.
And also not allowing undue influence perhaps to take place.
Of course, because the opposite of not regulating lobbying is that you will probably have lobbying happening, but in disguise, if you want, not in a way that's not, I wouldn't want to say not licit, but not so transparent, not so open. Openness is fundamental, not so open to the public, so it can be scrutinized by the public at large. And lobbying happens everywhere. So what you have to do is that you have to keep a clear set of rules governing how lobbying should be exercised in every member state. And that's what CDCJ decided we wanted to do. And again, the Committee of Ministers gladly approved the recommendation that we presented to them.